Iron Mountain are kosher. So Amar Abaye says, Lo Shanu, the Mishnah did not teach that they're kosher in every case. Ella, only these specific type of branches. When Shareja Shalzeh Magilat Tzad Ikr Shalzeh, when the tip of one reaches the base of the one on top of it. But if the tip of the one below does not reach the base of the one above, pasal is pasal. It means the shed is a little bit exposed. Or it's not over, it has to overlap a drop. Tana Melchi is a Bryce that says this as well, because there's a Bryce that says the opposite. Sinya Bar Zla Psula. How's that Bryce Raya? Because our Mishnah of Anan Tzam Ksher, we have an obvious stira. When there's such an obvious stira, El Shema Mina Kabai, it must be like Abai says, Shema Mina, that it depends if it reaches the base or doesn't reach the base. But there are those that had a different version. Vika Dorami Le Mirma, some posed it as a contradiction. Our Mishnah, Sinya Bar Zla Kosher. The palm trees of our bars are kosher, but time is a Bryce that says it's psul, it's possible. Abai says like kosher, it's not shver. Can here in the Mishnah where it says it's kosher, where the top of one reaches the base of the other one. Can, but here in the Bryce, it's where the tip of this one does not reach the base of the one above it. There are two date palms in the valley of Ben Hinoim, and those two date palms are the Tzine Har Barzel. We're now telling you what they are. These palm trees of Har Barzel were two palm trees by the valley of Ben Hinoim.
Are these permanent trees?
I guess so, yeah. Somewhat permanent, yeah. And then smoke rises between them. That's what the Mishnah teaches when it says Tzine Har Barzel Ksher. It's referring to those trees, the palm trees of Har Barzel, and they're kosher. The Zui Pisa Shal Gehenna. Fun fact, someone said yesterday, this is the entrance to Gehenna. Lulav Sheish Bo Sheish Tvachim. The Mishnah says Lulav has to be 3 Tvachim in order to shake it. Amr Rabbi Yomer Shmuel says, we name him Shmuel, Shir Hadas V'Rav Shleisha. The Hadas and the Rav are 3 Tvachim. The Lulav Arba is 4 Tvachim. Kedesh Sheyehei Lulav Yotzim Min HaHadas Tefach. So the Lulav protrudes higher than the Hadas Tefach. So you see the shaking, the main shaking is the lulav, and you see that shaking. But you can take the whole lulav into account, which means even the top of the leaves, as long as from the bottom to the top, that's 4 tvachim, you're good. Rabbi Parnach, Rabbi Yechanan, Shedrei Shalulav Tzarech Shiyatzim in Hadas Tefach. Don't cheshbon the leaves. The spine of the lulav needs to be above the Hadas Tefach. The leaves can go higher, but you can't cheshbon the leaves. You have to only go with the spine. Okay, so the shal, you go by the spine or you go by the entire lulav when you measure the 4 tvachim. The Gemara has a kasha on both. Now we learned in our Mishnah, lulav sheish by gibel tvachim gedel naneh by kosher. A lulav that's 2 tvachim in order to shake it is kosher. That's the Mishnah says. The both of the Marayim just said 4. Our Mishnah says 3. The Gemara answers, Ema, you have to say what the Mishnah means is u gedel naneh by kosher. 3 tvachim plus another tavach in order to shake it, and the shaking is visible, then it's kosher. So it's really 4 tvachim. Markedise, each man da Amar goes according to his shita, if it's the shedra, or if it's even including the leaves. Tashma, come and listen to Rai for Shmuel. Shmuel is one that holds that you can measure the entire lulav to get your 4. You don't, not just the shedra. Why? Because it says in this brisa, Shir had this Rav Shleisha. The Shir Ladas the rubber are 3 tvachim. The lulav arbah, the lulav is 4. My lav is a not bahadi, all including the leaves. So you see, you can measure the 4 tvachim the lulav, including the leaves on the top. The Gemara answers, no, you know raya, lavami, besides for the leaves. It means you measure the spine of the lulav, you don't measure the leaves as well when you're counting your 4 tvachim. This is where we are up to. Says the Gemara, gufa. Gufa means, let's go back to the guf. Let's go back to the... How do you say that in English? Let's get back into the crux of it. Something we just mentioned earlier. So quotes the Brisa again. What does the Brisa say? Shir hadas v'arava shleisha v'lulav arba. There's a Brisa that says the hadas and arava need to be shleisha tvachim, and the lulav is 4 tvachim. Okay? Nobody argues on this Brisa. We came out, everybody agrees lulav has to be 4. One more above the hadas and the arava is in order to see a visible shaking. The question is, do you measure the whole lulav for your 4 tvachim, or just the spine of the lulav? Everybody agrees lulav has to be 4 tvachim. However, comes along and the Tana argues. Another Tana argues. Reb Tarfon says, Be'ama bas chamisha tvachim.
If we're going that, it has to be the spot.
Yeah.
The leaves have to be much higher than 4 tvachim.
Yeah, it will end up being a lot higher, yeah. Because if the shed is 4 tvachim, usually the leaves go about 2 tvachim more, maybe. It depends on the lulav. Just to show you a picture, I showed you a picture yesterday. Let's look at a picture of that, about the heights of the lulav. Take a look at page Membe's. Picture Nun Gimel. Bottom left picture. Page Membe's, picture Nun Gimel. There you have the lulav 1 tefach more than the das and the rabbis, but that's with the leaves. That's with the leaves. It's a very short lulav. That is Shmuel's opinion. That's fine. The lulav is kosher. Go to the next page, a picture Nun Daled. That's what Rav Yechon holds. Rav Parnach named Rav Yechon. You measure from the spine. The spine has to be a tefach above. And you see where his finger goes? That's where the spine starts. Okay, so it's a big difference. And halachically, lulav has to look like this. Picture Nun Daled, not Nun Gimel. Okay. Keep your hand by the pictures. You're going to need this Gemara or whatever. Just have one hand holding there. Because it's a measurement. So just keep one hand on the pictures. So the Brisa says this again. We get back into the Brisa that the Hadas and the Rabbah need to be 3 tvachim, and the lulav is 4. But there's somebody that argues. We didn't know this till now. That's why we're getting back into the Brisa.
The same Brisa?
Same Brisa. We didn't quote the Shita yet. Reb Tarfon is a Tana. Reb Tarfon says, Ba'ama bas chamisha tvachim. What does that mean? So we know there's something called a tefach. It's a measurement. It's the size of a fist, the era, size of a fist. And something called an amma. How big is an amma? Now, an amma generally is 6 tvachim. A general amma is 6 tvachim. So take my finger, take my thing, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Generally. But there's something called an amma. Every amma is the same large, but some people call it different names. They call it a 5 tefach amma or a 6 tefach amma. Look at the pictures to understand this. It's not hard Gemara. It's really not hard. You might like, oh my gosh, it's math. It's not math even. It's very simple. Look at picture Nun Vav. Okay? You see those 2 bars on top? Those are both the exact same long. They're both an amma. There's no difference between the 2 bars. Don't look at the one that's half. Look at the 2 large ones. In picture Nun Vav, one is split into 6 parts and one is split into 5. Okay, it's the exact same length, but it depends how you split up into 5 or 6. The top one's called the Amma Bas Shisha Tvachim. That's a standard split of an Amma. The Tvachim are that large. When we talk about a Tefach, to know the size of a Tefach, you split the Amma into 6 parts, and each one is a Tefach. However, there's another way of assessing a tefach, and that's to split an amma into 5, and each tefach is larger. So it's like different times. It's like comes up different gemaras. It's like just 2 ways. When we talk about tefach, it's like a big tefach and a small tefach. And the way they talk about how big and small they are is, could 6 fit into amma or 5 fit into an amma? If 6 fit into amma, that means the tefachim are much shorter. If 5 tefachim fit into the amma, each one's larger. Okay? What? It could be attached with the thumb. So when we use the amma measurement, the amma is always the same large. It's like, imagine I tell you like this, ready? We have this table here. How long is this table? It's comprised of 10 tissue boxes, okay? 1, 2, 3. Well, let's say I get a smaller tissue box, and they say it's really 11 tissue boxes. It's the same long, but if you're measuring it by tefachim, some people do 5 tefachim, and the tefachim are larger. Some do 6, and they're shorter. Comes along Reb Tarfon, and he makes a comment, and he says, you know how large you have to have these hadassim and arabas? I need it to be a 5 tefachim, not 3 tefachim, 5 tefachim. That's what he says. I need it to be the Amma, which is a bas, look at the words, an Amma bas chamisha tvachim. An Amma, when it says as a daughter, means it's comprised of, bas is the term that's used. It's comprised of 5 tvachim. A 5 tefach Amma, I need to be 5 of those tvachim for my hadas rabbis to be kosher. Not really. So if you take a look at that picture, look at this picture again. What?
Five of those is still an hour.
The Amma saying, but it's a 5. It's the amount of tefachim that fit into a 5 tefach Amma.
How many of those?
So take a look at the picture again. Picture above. Imagine I tell you, see, there's an Amma bas shisha tvachim, an Amma bas chamisha tvachim. If I tell you it's 5 tvachim of an Amma, of the 5 tvachim Amma, it gets you to the 5 you see there. And if it's bas shisha tvachim, it's a lot larger. It gets you. I'm sorry, I read it wrong. It needs to be 3 tvachim of a 5 tefach Amma. So that's larger than 3 tvachim of a 6 tefach Amma. The tvachim change. The Amma doesn't change. Yeah.
So the tvachim we've been discussing has to be of a bas chamisha.
Yes, thank you. The tvachim that we've been discussing, you say 3, is the tvachim of. That is what Tarkin says.
Everyone else holds
What?
Everyone else holds
Everybody. Yes. Yeah. What? So I think the default is 6. Yes, the default is 6. Okay. But just what I just told you is the sikum of the Gemara. In the Hamna of the Gemara, all they heard him say was, "As he fought Amabas Kamisha Tvachim." They thought he meant a full 5 Tvachim. Okay, when we read this Gemara right away, the Gemara thinks that it means everyone else says that the Das Rabbis are 3, rule of 4. Comes along with Tarfon and says, has to be an Amabas Kamisha Tvachim, has to be 5 Tvachim high. Whoa. Okay, so I told you more the Sikum. In the Havana, we think it has to be 5 Tvachim large.
And that has to be for the Hadassah or for the Lulav?
The Dasim and the Rabbis.
which is a
Rule of asking 6.
which is a full Amma.
Full Amma. Yeah. Which is crazy. Now that's huge. So says the Gemara, Amar Rava says, Rava, Shora le Mare, Hashem should forgive him. Mare means master. Master for forgiving you. You need mechila from Hashem for what you said. L'Reb Tarfon. Shora le Mare l'Reb Tarfon. Hashem should forgive Reb Tarfon. How dare you say such an amount? You has to be 5 tvachim large. You're dasim na'ravas. Hasha avay shloisha leinish kachinan bas chamisha miboy. What does that mean? Hasha now avos. Avos means plated. The hadassim need to be a plated branch. What does plated mean? It's comprised of these 3 leaves, right? 3 leaves. The pasuk says, "Anaf eitz avos." It's a branch of a plated tree. A hadassim have to be 3 leaves, 3 leaves, 3 leaves. Now it says to be complicated. 3 leaves. We didn't get the hadassim yet. It's very hard to find this hadassim of 3 leaves. The larger you go, the shorter you go, the easier it is to find it. See, Rava says to him, Hashem should forgive Reb Tarfon. Didn't say it to him. Rava's Namara. Hasha avos shloisha mleim hashchinim. We can barely find a 3 tefach plated hadas. Bas chamisha miboy. You think we can find a 5 tefach plated hadas? It's like, come on, impossible. It is very hard to find kosher hadasim. Nowadays they made it much easier on us to check. They're very good, but it used to be one of the hardest things to find. Was hadasim. Depends how careful you are, how much there are 3. Exactly the same line or not exactly the same line. The Rava thought initially, he understood Reb Tarfon, I need it to be 5 tefachim long. And the 5 tefach of the Amma, like the way Bas Chamisha Tvachim. And Rava says, Hashem should forgive you for such a chesed. It's kind of impossible to find such a thing. So I don't know what you're thinking. So the Gemara answers like this. Says the Gemara, Ki Asa Rav Dimi. When Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Babel. Whenever we say Ki Asa coming, this Gemara is Tama Bavli, so it's the Amira coming here. Whenever we say like he went away, he goes to Eretz Yisrael. So when Rav Dimi came to Bavel, Amar, he said like this. He didn't understand it properly. What he meant to say was, a standard Amma is Bas Shisha Tvachim. Right? The standard Amma is comprised of 6 Tvachim. What Reb Tarfon was saying was, Aseh Yisa Bas Chamisha. Divide it, Aseh Yisa, make it into 5 Tvachim. Take an Amma, instead of it comprising of 6 Tvachim, comprise it and divide it into 5 parts. Out of those 5 parts, say mehen shloisha lahados, you take out 3 for the hados, and then the extra tefach is for the lulav. Don't lose hope. When you look at the picture, you're gonna chop it. It's not crazy. I'm telling you. Look at the picture for a second. We'll come back. Take a look at picture in Nun Vav. What Tarfon was saying was, picture Nun Vav, look at the first bar. Tarfon says, your standard Amma is comprised of 6 Tvachim. I want you to look at an Amma as if it's comprised of 5 Tvachim, which is bar number 2. Out of that, take 3 for the Dasim and Aravas. So the 3 is going to be larger than the 3 that everyone else was talking about. It depends on how you measure Tvachim. Everyone else is measuring with the Shisha Tvachim Amma. Reb Tarfon was saying, measure with the 5 Tefach Amma and take 3 from there. For Dasim and Aravas. And then the Lulav is 1 Tefach more to the 4. The Shar means whatever is needed more for the Lulav. What? Abbas Chamisha. Yeah. If you look at the picture, to show you the difference, your lulav according to the first Tana is the first number 4. According to Tarfon, it's the second number 4. And the 3 for the Das Rava is according to the first Tana is the top one. And according to Tarfon, it's the second one. It depends how you measure a tefach. Is there 5 tefachim in Amma or is there 6 tefachim in Amma? If Tarfon says use 5 tefach ammas, and the Tanakama held use 6 tefach ammas. So everyone holds 3 tefachim. The question is which tefachim. Okay? Drop more. Says the Gemara. Ask the Gemara. Kama havilahu. Whoa. How much are you left with? You're left with Tlasa utlasa chumshe. 3 3/5. Look at the picture now. It's very easy. Look at the picture. Picture Nun Vav. If you look now, what do you have of the regular standard one? This is the 3rd bar in that picture. You have 3 3/5. Right? If you look at the top one and the bottom one, the way to see the top one for the bottom one is 3 3/5. Means in your standard Amma Bas Shisha Tvachim, it comes out to 3 3/5. So that's what it comes down to. The Gemara asks, Kasha de Shmuel ad Shmuel. Then it's Shver Shmuel on Shmuel. You now have a stira. What's the stira? Hacha over here. Amar Vida Amar Shmuel. Vida said the name of Shmuel. Shir Hadas Varav Shloisha. He said over here the Shir of the Hadas Varav is 3. But Vahasam over there, somewhere else he says, Amar Vuna Amar Shmuel. Lacha Krebi Tarfin. He passes like a Tarfin. That's a stira. You have a stira. You mamish have a stira. Shmuel says in one place that a Hadas Rav are Shloisha Tvachim. But in another place he says Allah is like a Tarfin. But if it comes out like a Tarfin, it comes out 3 3/5. Not just 3. It's out of the standard Bas Shisha Tvachim, it comes down to 3 3/5.
So is it the first one he's talking about of Tarfon too?
Because the Tarfon told him, the Tarfon, he's not Meira. So he was talking, but he goes, I hold like a Tarfon. But how could he pass and say Shleisha Tvachim? Because he meant
Tarfon also holds Shleisha Tvachim.
Right, but the larger, the different type. Right. I guess it's the Meira if you look more explicit. Maybe that's what it was. He didn't explain which one he was talking about.
You would assume he's standard unless he specifically says.
So, we'll end up with that question. We'll take this over tomorrow. If to draw more of this, is my plan. To draw more of this, I think by the end of today and tomorrow, we'll get it. It's not crazy. And we'll hopefully be by the Mishnah, by Shuas. That way we're sort of in the clear for Shuas. And then we come back after Shuas, we'll chazer what we've learned till now. That's going to be the plan. But don't lose hope. I'll learn it again with you, the guys.